268-553.
Here we go.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone, from wherever you are joining us around the world. Thank you for coming on to tonight's overview presentation with some of the top national leaders from the US and the Asia Pacific area. So just going to allow everybody to unmute themselves and say hi and state where you're coming from. We are recording this call today. So please unmute just one at a time, say hi, where you're from, and thanks for coming on.
Hey, this is Barry in Colorado.
Hey, Barry, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Hugh Benjamin
Hello.
in California. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Hugh.
Jeff Harris from the Philippines.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi,
Hey,
it's
Watson
John from
Wollongong,
Canada.
New South Wales.
Hi, Dee. Hi, Jay. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Donald from Canada.
Hockey Clark from Auckland, New Zealand.
Hey, Hookie, keep going, guys, and I'll just stay quiet.
Hello, I'm Evelyn from Arizona.
Hi, Evelyn.
Hello. Who's this? Hi, Jeffrey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Finally get to meet you.
Yes, likewise. Sorry, I got your message. I'll just speak to you a little later on. We can't reply by phone, but I'll get you by messenger.
Okay, it's fine. Thank
No
you.
worries.
Welcome,
I've made
everybody.
contact
Just say
with my-
hi and state your name and where you're from. We're going to start in 3 minutes.
Hi, Ian Crossan from Canterbury in New Zealand.
Hey,
Hi,
Ian,
Ian.
thanks for coming on.
Oh, hi, Amy Smith from South Carolina.
Hi, Amy, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Hi, my name is Sonia from Chicago, Illinois.
Lovely to have you on the call.
Brent Padmore from Maryland.
Hi,
Hey, Brent.
Brant.
How you doing?
Very good.
Hello, Brent.
Randy from Virginia.
Hey, Brandy, thanks for coming on. Just make sure you all mute yourselves out, guys, once you've finished speaking, please.
Hi, everyone. Rangi from Auckland, New Zealand.
Hey,
Rangi.
Rangi.
Hi, everyone.
everyone. Bola David, Waikato, New Zealand.
Hey, Debbie. And your lovely wife, Malika's on as well.
Yes,
Hello,
Kia ora,
everyone.
everybody.
This is Ely from the Fiji.
Hey, Ellie.
Kia ora, everyone, from the Waikato, the beautiful town of Te Kowhata.
Lovely to have you on, Millie.
Hello everyone, Molly, Ty and Jerry from Toowoomba, Queensland, Australia.
Hey, Molly and Jerry. Thanks for
Hi.
coming on.
Hey, Molly.
Hi Rangi.
We've got about a minute to go.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Millie, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Good, thank you. Looking forward to the session. Thank you.
Hey, Millie.
Thanks.
Hey, hi, Rangi.
Just under a minute to get started, and then I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Hugh Benjamin to make introductions, and he's going to be our first presenter for tonight, or the morning, wherever you are situated. All right, time to get started. Mr. Hugh Benjamin, I'm going to hand it over to you and let you take the platform.
Thank you so much, Leah. Thanks for organizing everybody, logging in and everything. And I just want to take the time to thank everybody that's taken out time to be on this call today. And, my name is Hugh Benjamin. I'm a national leader with Vbit mining. And, I'm so excited about what we have planned for today, because what you're going to hear is you guys are going to hear the journey of some of the top leaders in our company that have hit the position of national leader. And they're going to share from their heart, their background, what they've gone through to actually accomplish this in the company. And then also how Vbit has made a profound impact on their life, their future, their family. And so we felt if we shared this with everybody, that it would give everyone some insight on the backgrounds of some of the leadership in the company and what it takes to really hit that kind of position in our company, which literally can put you in a situation where you're able to make a high 6 or 7 figure a year income between Bitcoin mining and commissions. And so, I want to thank all the leaders for taking their time out, because I know they're all very busy. And I'm so thankful for the fact that, we have so many incredible speakers on here at the same time. It's, it's quite rare for that to happen because we're all over the world right now. So happy New Year to everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started with today's festivities. I'm going to share my story to National Leader, and then I'm going to introduce the other leaders that we have on the call. And everybody is going to have 15 minutes, and then there'll be like a warning right before the end, just in case, just to keep aware of the time and everything. So my name is Hugh Benjamin, and just to tell you guys a little bit about my story, I came from an average family. When I was 4 years old, I was the oldest child, and my other brother was 2 and 1. And my father passed away when I was 4 years old. And being the oldest in my family, we didn't really come from money. But I was born in California, grew up here till I was 4, and then I grew up on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. And played a lot of sports in high school. I was on the soccer team, the swimming team, the football team, the wrestling team, track team. And when I was 18, I basically got accepted at a couple of different colleges for architecture. And one was University of Arizona and the other one was Temple. And they were really good schools, but at the time, my family didn't really have the money. We didn't kind of prepare financially for it. So I ended up joining the Marines when I was 18 years old. I went to Parris Island, South Carolina, and I studied aviation electronics. And that was one hell of an experience being in Parris Island. I can tell you, if you get through Parris Island, then you can probably get through anything. But for about 10 years, I was in the food and restaurant business. I worked as a busboy at a private country club. When I was 15 years old, that was my first job for $3.35 an hour. Right now, you can't even get a coffee with that. But that's kind of like where I started my career in the food and restaurant business. I worked in that industry for about 10 years. I worked at a place called the Cheesecake Factory when I came out to California as a waiter. And then when I was 25, I actually started my own event planning company. And when I had my own event planning company, I did parties for like Will Smith, Magic Johnson, a lot of different people. And that company started with me doing kids parties. I used to do magic tricks, dress up in character outfits, do balloon animals and face painting. And that's kind of like something that I came up to make money. And it turned into something bigger. I started doing corporate events for big companies like Guess Jeans and Blockbuster, Magic Johnson, and then all the celebrity parties. So kind of an interesting background. And then I heard about direct sales when I was in my 20s. And I heard that you can make more in a month than most people make in a whole year. And I kind of bought that story, and I got into a company with no background in direct sales. And I remember I learned about that company at a personal development program called the Landmark Forum. Somebody said, "Hey, you seem like a leader. Do you want to make money every time, somebody does this, this, and this, and you can make a residual income?" Now, at the time, I was really excited about residual income because when I was in my 20s, I did 15 national commercials on TV, and I would work one day and make $20,000 in residuals over the next 15 months on that. So I got really excited about the direct sales industry, but I knew nothing about direct sales whatsoever. And I got into my first company, and I was told that my upline was going to help me, and they were going to support me. And I kind of went in a little bit too deep in my first company. I think I did everything wrong I could possibly do. I got a bunch of resumes from Monster. I was probably calling a couple thousand people a day because I didn't want to talk to people that I knew. And that allowed me to get better on the phone. I remember when I got my first phone bill, it was like $2,500 from Nextel. And I almost had a heart attack. I was like, wow, I didn't know a phone bill could cost that much, you know? So I got into my first direct sales industry. And what happened to me was, man, I did not have quick success in that company. My upline told me if I wanted to work with them, with my team, I had to move to another state. And so I picked up my stuff, I moved all my stuff to another state. And then my upline that I thought was going to support me basically didn't support me. In fact, they wanted to take my bonuses, and they wanted to get me out of the company. So that was kind of like I guess you could say there's a lot of ups and downs when you guys go on your journey. And by going through that, it made me a stronger leader and a stronger person. When I got into that company, it probably took me a good 5 years to reach the top of the company. But somebody told me that if I don't quit, then I would win. And I thought, it doesn't matter what happens. If I get into a fight with my upline, if you know, the company actually removed the services in the company and I lost a whole downline of 3,000 people and they didn't want to talk to me when I would call them, they would hang up on me. And you know, these are some of the ups and downs that you go through when you guys are going on your journey, and you learn a lot about that. Now in that company, I made a decent amount of money, but somebody told me it was a home-based business, and I didn't know that I would never be at my own house, that I would be at everybody else's house. And so as I went through that company and I failed miserably, I was so frustrated and aggravated, like why I couldn't succeed, because I was working so hard in that company, but I wasn't working in the right direction. And what happened was I met a gentleman in that company that made over $30 million. And I became a friend of his, even though he wasn't even my upline. I would follow him around. I think I even stayed at his house for a couple of months. I used to wear the same kind of clothes he wore. I drew the same kind of car that he drove. And then I even we have some background noise or something. But I even started talking like this gentleman in the company, and I started even telling the same jokes and everything, because I thought if I could just copy somebody that was super successful, that I would become successful too. And you know, I remember in that company, I was so frustrated because I was always trying to help people succeed, and I would get so distracted by trying to help people instead of helping myself. And I remember this one night, I had a dream, and it was me on stage speaking to thousands of people. And I got this vision and this insight that if I become successful in the company, then I would be able to help a lot more people. Because when I first got into the company, man, I would call people that had no money. I'd call people that wouldn't show up, and I'd waste all this time and energy with so many people in that company. And I was exhausted. I remember this one time I had somebody on my team. They said, you have to fly to Colorado tomorrow. I have a meeting with 25 people. And this was when I was like kind of in the beginning of the company. And so I had no confirmations whatsoever. I went and I booked a plane ticket and I flew to Colorado, and there was 25 people in the house, but it was a crazy story. The next day, because I didn't buy all 25 people a meal at the restaurant from my own wallet, they got upset at me, and a lot of them started to quit. And so I said, you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm out of here. I went to get a shuttle to go to the airport. And on my way to the airport, it started snowing, and the van spun in circles and went down the embankment. Next thing you know, I find myself on a stretcher going to the hospital. And I'm thinking, man, this business is going to almost kill me. Like maybe someone's trying to give me a signal, right? So I didn't talk to people for a really long time. But it was kind of funny because when I got home, I was still getting checks in that company. So that's kind of like the power of leverage. But you know, the main thing that I learned was that sometimes the stuff that I was doing wasn't for what I was doing at the time, but they've helped me today. Because a lot of people ask me, where did you learn all this stuff? And it's not because I've been successful. It's because I've failed more ways than probably everybody else in this industry. And I've learned from those mistakes, right? And so when you're in a company and your uplines against you and they cancel all the services and you have 5,000 people on your team quit and the comp plan changes while you're in another country, these are the things that make you stronger and grow you as a person, you know, in this industry. And then what happened was that good friend that I started talking like basically offered me, he said, hey, one of my reps is going to Australia and New Zealand for 2 weeks. And do you want to go with him? And I said, yes, I do. And I'd never been to Australia. I didn't know anybody there whatsoever. But we both went. The first place that I stayed was this little city called St. Kilda in Melbourne. And I thought, well, this is a happening place. And we didn't know we were like right on the row where all the parties were happening and everything else. And it was pretty crazy there. But I remember he went back 2 weeks later and I stayed in Australia and New Zealand for the next 2.5, 3 years with that company. And from not knowing anybody, I went #1 in the business and the whole world in my position in that company. And so my advice for people that are listening is like, you learn from your journey as you go through all these different things. And that allowed to set up things for me for my success today in Vbit. So it's not like I just woke up out of bed and all of a sudden just learned everything in 5 minutes. And so that's, you know, one of the lessons that I've learned is to try to learn from the most successful people, you know, in the company. I later after that got mentorship from a gentleman who had a downline of over 1 million people. He had trained the owners of the company that I worked with, my first network marketing company. And the gentleman that trained him was a multi-billionaire. And so he told me, if you can just get really good at copying and pasting, that's the most duplicatable way to build the business. And I started learning from people that were a lot more successful than me. But the first 8 years, I'll tell you, was the most painful experience that I ever had because I tried to do everything my way. So, you know, that's pretty key, is if you can learn from successful people and copy them, you know, that's the best way that you could succeed when it comes to a business like this. I got involved in Vbit, you know, literally 18 months ago. Skip McCoy called me up in the company. I'm so grateful that he did, but I hung up on Skip and I told Skip I was busy. I was running my own company, spending, you know, 10 or 11 hour days, and found myself just kind of busy. I didn't want to get into direct sales again because I had already been through all that stuff. And I said, nah, I don't want to really do this. And he talked about hash power and I had no idea what he was doing. And then he got me on the phone with Don Bo, and I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize Don Bo was the owner of the company because I was busy running my own business. And I kind of brushed off Don Bo as well. And then he got me on the phone with Jin Gao, and he got me on the phone with Lori Boko. So he got me on the phone with 4 of the top people in the company, and I was still not joining the business, right? So I ended up getting myself a little mining machine to get these guys off my back. And next thing you know, my eyes and my brain kind of opened up and said, oh my gosh, I'm making money. This is like a tree that prints money. I can't believe this. And, you know, in the first 8 weeks of this business, the first 3 weeks I hit regional leader. In the first 8 weeks, I had 200 people purchase packages on my team. And I did that without doing any face-to-face meetings, all over the phone. This was before COVID lockdowns even started. And then I found myself, my team just exploded. When COVID happened, I lost about $60,000 a month in revenue. And that put me in a situation where I really had to think about my path. And this company,
15 minutes too.
All right, cool. This company literally has changed my life for the better. I hit national in 4.5 months, achieved the BMW, took the Bitcoin, the $20,000 in Bitcoin, literally in, you know, it was like 6.5 months. But, you know, if any advice I could give people would be stay focused, because this company has changed my life. I can't believe I'm in a position, you know, between my commissions and my mining, where I've literally achieved over 20 Bitcoin. And it's just mind blowing that I'm making over 6 figures a month in my first 6 or 7 months in this business. So I'm really grateful for the company. Hopefully those of you can see the vision, because if I would have got distracted by all the changes, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so you just have to use those breakdowns as an opportunity to learn and to become a better leader in the company. And that's kind of my story. So I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to share. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to introduce the next speaker that we have. And she is a national leader in the company. Her name is Erlinda Truitt. And her background is she's a pharmacist by trade. And she worked in the hospital for over 35 years. She started Vbit back in May 2018 part-time, and she retired from her job in March 2020 within 2 years. She became a regional after 1 year. She became a national in 2 years, and she started earning a 6-figure income. She was also awarded the shopping spree of $5,000 in Las Vegas, and also the luxury island vacation. And then in 2021, in August, she was awarded a brand new 2022 BMW 430i convertible. And Vbit has changed her life financially. And I'm going to turn it over to national leader, Miss Erlinda Truitt. Erlinda, are you there?
Yes, sir. How are you? Good evening, everyone.
Doing great.
As you did a good job organizing this group. As I said, my name is, I want to introduce myself personally. My name is Erlinda Truitt from New Jersey. It's true, I'm a pharmacist by trade, worked in the hospital for 35 years. So how it started in 2018. On my way to work, Lori, my mentor, told me that she found something that I can retire in 2 years, and it's big. That's what she said. And I said, what is it? She said, it's about cryptocurrency. I said, what is cryptocurrency? She said, it's about Bitcoin. I said again, what is Bitcoin? That is the first time I heard that word. It's a foreign language to me. That's the first word I heard in my life. And I even asked Lori how to spell it. That's how ignorant I was on that about Bitcoin. I have no knowledge at all. To her excitement, I joined that night, and I got excited so much that when I went home, I told my husband that I found something that I can retire in 2 years. He said, how? And I said, it's about Bitcoin. As soon as I mentioned Bitcoin, there he stopped me and said, Linda, swear to me not to do the Bitcoin because a lot of my coworkers lost a lot of money. So to be a good wife, I swear to him not to do it. So I called my mentor, Lori, and said, I cannot do the Vbit because my husband don't want me to do it. And I already swear it too. Lori said, it's too late. You're already enrolled. So in my mind, that probably God's plan, because sometimes you have plan. We think it's good, but God's plan is always perfect. Lori told me that not to tell my husband. And she promised I will help you to retire in 2 years. I said, let's do it. That's the start of my journey to national leader. I started with the gold package, and I got so excited, even though I'm only earning $40 to $60 per month at that time. Lori said, if you do the business also, you make more money than the machine. I said, let's do it. So I work every day. In the beginning, I tried to talk to 5 to 10 people, aiming to sign up 1 to 2 persons in a month. So figured out as a part-time, I can have 24 people in 1 year. But to my excitement, I signed up 24 new members in a month, local and abroad. So after a year doing part-time, I got promoted to regional leader, and I don't even know how much money I have. I earn because I don't want to open my website all the time because my husband's negativity. Until Lori called me one day and said, "Did you check your money lately?" I said no for a while. So when I opened my wallet, to my surprise, I have $10,000. Because I keep buying machine after machine. And to my surprise, I was shocked. I started screaming. I forgot my husband was next to me. He asked me what's going on. I said, I have too much money. I was really shocked. So on that day, I told my husband the truth about Vbit mining, that I had it for him for a year. And I said, I did it to surprise you. I have $10,000 in my wallet, a commission of $5,000 and $6,000 for my machine. For me, that's shocking because in my mind, when you're broke, $100 is a lot of money. How much more? You have $10,000. My husband told me that's too good to be true. I said, it's true. And I will withdraw $2,000. Please come with me to the bank and I give you the money. And I said, take me on vacation and it's my treat. So that's what we did. And because of that, my husband instantly opened his mind. Admire me for not listening to him, and most of all, admire me of what I became. He became so interested about Bitcoin and Vbit. Finally, I enrolled him after a year. He bought 2 black diamonds, recruited a lot more than me. In a short period of time, he became a national leader. He turned into from so negative person to a super positive person that in 1 year, he became a national leader ahead of me. Then I became a national leader months after. As a national leader, I got awarded a Breitling watch, shopping spree for Las Vegas. Lastly, in August of 2021, I was awarded a brand new BMW convertible car. I thought it was only a dream. In my life, all the things I thought is impossible to have, but in Vbit, there's no impossible if you follow your dream. Just share these opportunities to everyone with no judgment. We do things that people are afraid to do it. We do things, we accept rejection 100 times, but we still keep going for someday. We will live a life that for some was only a wish. Vbit changes my life to the fullest. I bought a condo after I retired in 2 years in Vbit and paid in full in 8 months. So Vbit gave us both time and money. So please don't keep these opportunities to yourself. Share it, enjoy it, and be blessed. Because you never know that the person you talk to today, you might be the answer to their prayers. I have a lot of reason not to do this business because first, I work 3rd shift. I come home when everybody goes to work. And when I go to bed, everybody is home. Second, my husband's negativity. And third, my husband had cancer at that time, that every other weekend, I have to bring him to our chemo treatment and 2 days at home. But all of these excuses, I use it as the reason to do the business and fulfill my dream to be national. With God's grace, I got to be a national leader, and thank you all for Vbit. Guys, just keep sharing this dream. In the end of the tunnel, you will see the light. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Erlinda, for taking the time out and sharing your inspiration. Truly inspirational. Thank you. And thank you for all that you've done for the company and the leadership that you provided and for all of us along the way. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So the next national leader that we have on is National Leader Ebony Chapman. And Ebony, when I heard Ebony's story just this past week when I was talking to her, and I've been on a couple of her training calls. I've been on many different, corporate calls with Ebony. Her background, she's a wife, she's a mother. She's also a nurse practitioner. She's a missionary for a church. And she also has a home care agency. And she also owns a medical spa. So ladies and gentlemen, this incredible leader is busy, if you could say that. But she did hit regional leader in this company in 21 days, and she hit national leader 30 days later. So she hit national leader in 51 days, even faster than what it took me to hit national leader. And she's such an inspiration for her team. She's, just amazing. Ebony Chapman, if you could share your story, that would be great. Thank you so much for being on the call.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hold on one second. Let me turn off this.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good morning, wherever you may be. Thank you, everybody, for putting this together. Whoever had anything to do with it. And I'm super excited to be on this call, on this Zoom call with you guys to share my experience with Vbit. And so, basically, I was approached by Rhonda Senior in around, it was the year before I actually joined. And, I was talking to him frequently, and he was telling me, like, listen, you need to really pay attention to this Vbit. My son took me to an office down in, South Philly, and, I met some great people, and it seemed like it's something that's going to be huge. And so at the time, because I'm actually in Philadelphia area, I was actually born and raised upstate New York, but I decided to, I guess after college, I decided to finish up part of my nursing career in upstate here in PA. And then it's been history ever since. I actually started a home care company when I was 25 years old, actually, and I've owned it for about 12 years and recently sold it because of Vbit, which helped me a lot. And so basically from the time I actually came to Philadelphia, I was exposed to a lot of different opportunities when it came to network marketing. And, some of them were okay. It was like the lotions and potions that I was exposed to. And, I actually joined a company that used Bitcoin, right? So this Bitcoin phenomenon it still wasn't really known, but I joined, it was an opportunity where you could share like a donation type program, and you share by cryptocurrency. And so that's how I learned about Bitcoin. But the thing is, even though the company didn't, last too long, it last maybe a year or so, and I made good money off of it, but the company didn't last too long after it, basically crashed because of some regulatory issues. I still kept my Bitcoin account. And so I was grateful that I did. This was around 2016. And I decided to consistently, invest into Bitcoin at the time. So when Bitcoin was like $700 a coin, that's when I was exposed to it. And as time went on, it was like gradually growing. So Ron Dove Sr. knew that I was involved in these different programs because I actually, told him about some programs that I was in. But at the time when they told me about Vbit, I was completely burned out. I was burned out from the programs that I was involved in because I was a business owner. Yes, I had many employees. I was making good money, but I knew that there was something out there where I can help many people. So, because that's what attracted me to actually network marketing, is that this is a situation where if I position myself, I can help many people just position themselves to become wealthy. So I always had that goal in mind to help other people. And so when cryptocurrency came about, I knew that there was something that I can do to help people financially with cryptocurrency. So When I got exposed to Vbit, I was, like I said, I was burnt out from the other opportunities. I was actually in school for my nurse practitioner program. I was pregnant with my daughter, who's now 2. And I was just like, I told Ron said, well, just come down to the office. So I said, this is Ron Dove Jr. And I said, okay, I'll go down to the office. So I sat down with Jen Gao at the time, and we talked about Bitcoin. We talked about, we shared information about Bitcoin, and he shared with me things about Vbit and where they was expected to go. And it was like at the infancy stages of the actual affiliate program. So I knew that this was something that was going to be huge, eventually, but I just wasn't ready. So I actually said, you know what, give me some time. Let me kind of get my whole situation in order. And so I needed to do some soul searching because I didn't want to keep jumping into opportunities where it wouldn't actually benefit and help people. So I said, okay, let me do some soul searching. And I actually, a year later, my daughter's first birthday, and the day I passed my nursing boards, my MP boards, I actually joined Vbit and I bought my first package. So I bought a platinum package, and I'm a numbers person. So after I saw the numbers in those mining accounts working, I said, okay, this is it. Something in my spirit told me like, this is really it. So I was super grateful. And then it's been history ever since, and I decided to share it. And I'm so grateful that, I shared it. I told my husband, I said, look, this is something that's about Bitcoin and, this Vbit. And, he kind of brushed, say, okay, it's just something, but, we got accounts, and he bought mining machines, and we basically just decided to go ahead and grow it. And so, because he still wasn't really a believer in Bitcoin as of yet. So then I actually shared it with Brandy Hubbard, who's she's an awesome leader in this organization. And I'm super excited for her because I know she's soon going to be national leader. She's a regional leader right now, but I know she's going to be national soon because she's dedicated. She's actually retired her husband. And when you hear stories like this of people being able to do these things in Vbit, it just fills my heart with so much joy and knowing that I finally found it. So basically, after I shared it with her and then shared it with Mark Hamlin and shared it with some other people, then my organization started to explode. So long story short, I made, 6 figures, I withdrew over $250,000 plus out of, one account when it came, because we used to be able to have multiple accounts with Vbit. And the other awesome thing about Vbit is that the machines, you can actually write them off. I'm not a CPA or I'm not a financial expert, but when I realized that you can write these machines off, you know how huge that is for a business owner? It's huge. It's a huge thing. So I said, you know what, this is something that, I can definitely carry on as a legacy for my family, and I can do well. So I've, off of just a small amount of people, I've been able to hit national leader, and like you said, in a short period of time, because the good thing about me is when I have something good and I know it's something that's going to benefit people, I want to share it. I want to tell people about it. But something that I need to mention that is very important for any of you that's on the line as, in, position to be regional, or even if you're a leader or whatever position you are in Vbit, it is very important to be consistent. Very important to be consistent with whatever you do when you're with your team. Stay, communicating with them to try to encourage them to get to the next level. And a lot of times, because life gets in our way, things get in our way, that we, put things by the wayside. But if you're consistent, and that's one thing that I appreciate about Ron Dove, he's very consistent about his weekly, Zoom meetings, just like Hugh, constantly having these Zoom meetings and inviting people. And even myself, when I have the Zoom meetings that I have for my team. So it's very important that we stay consistent and try to, continuously tell people and share it. But one of the most interesting stories about my time with Vbit is that, and this is something that I want to mention as well, you never want to judge anybody, because you don't know what anybody has going on behind closed doors. You don't know what people do at their address. You have your address, they have their address. No matter if it's a friend, a relative, or family member, you don't know. So there was a guy that actually was referred by somebody else who was in my downline. And this was the biggest commission I've ever received. But there was a person that actually purchased 8 black diamonds at one time cash and went down to the Vbit office, and I received a $29,000 commission off of that one sale, and that wasn't even somebody that I referred. So when I realized that was going on, I'm like, okay, this really works, and I need to really pay attention to it. And this was like April of last year. So that person, come to find out, was actually a postal worker. He retired. And, you know, I even heard that he barely even had a vehicle. Like, he was actually I guess, chauffeured around or what have you. But the thing is, you never know who's in your organization. You never know what a person may have, what people have in their household. So it's very important for you to just share it, because we don't know what the next person, because sometimes we may assume like, well, I'm talking about black diamonds and I know it's $100-something thousand, but you don't know what the next person can do. So that's just a lot of big, you know, information I can give you on how you can grow your organization as well. So the thing is too, that I've done is completely part-time, because I just sold one company, but I still own another company. And, you know, because I'm not the type, I'm busy, like you said, I'm always doing something, right? So the thing is, you know, I'm not at the time right now where I want to just give everything up because I'm so active, and I love healthcare. I love helping people and seeing people progress, and I promote health and wellness. So the thing is, I love what I do, and I love seeing the results that people receive. So I'm continuously doing that, but I can do this with Vbit simultaneously to what I do and still reach these levels. So it's very important that, you know, even if you don't have to do this full time if you don't want to at the time. You could definitely do this part-time and still reach these levels. So thank you everybody for being on this Zoom call, and I appreciate everyone who is on here. And I'm definitely sure that you guys will learn from these other national leaders and hear their stories and where they have been. And then we're just to the top with Vbit. Give it back to you, Hugh.
Hey, thank you so much, Ebony. What an inspirational story. I know a lot of people say they're busy. I think you're the definition of busy. So I think if you can do it, anybody can do it. So thanks so much for taking out your time and being on the call so very much. Thank you. The next person that I'm going to introduce is the gentleman that introduced me to the company. He could probably tell you how many times he called me, just so you guys know that follow-up is key. This gentleman, Skip McCoy, grew up in my own state where I grew up, and he's got a family of 3 girls and a granddaughter. He lives in Philadelphia. He moved there. He also was in Ireland for 7 years. And he's got a party rental company, and he knows my brother. I actually started the party rental company for my brother, and Skip got to know my brother. He's also got a contracting and a remodeling business. His wife has a business, a cafe by poolside. And then also during the winter time, he does snow removal, and he drives a school bus, right, for a local school district. So talk about busy. He's one of the top national leaders in the company. I am so very grateful that he was persistent and kept after me, because he's literally changed my life with giving me that call and being persistent. So Skip, thank you so much. I'll turn it over to you, and thank you so much for how you made such a profound impact on me and my family. Thank you.
No problem. I thank you very much, Hugh, and for putting this all together. This is a big undertaking, and it's an amazing job that what you've done here, and Rangi as well. I know you had a little bit of something to do with it too. This is what this is a great thing for all of our teams throughout the company, and that's why I like this company, because of we're like a family. We try to help each other out. Doesn't matter where you belong, who's under you or who's where. That's why I like this company, and that's why I appreciate what you've done here. and and different people that are on this call, Leah Gunder as well, and Pookie Clark, all you guys that are regional leaders down there. Can't wait to see you guys at national leader position. I know it's coming, my journey to getting national leadership. Well, part of my family background is, as Hugh said, I have a family of 3 daughters. Today, we're actually celebrating right now as we speak her birthday. She's 30 years old, and I escaped the party and came online here because, guys, this is something that I did not want to miss, but I didn't want to miss my daughter's party. So this gives me the opportunity to do both. Doing Zoom calls is an amazing idea, amazing concept. It's actually excelled in probably 20x or 50x our businesses, just be able to do Zoom calls and being able to, get on board with people to take a look at something, because the fact is it only takes 45 minutes to look at a business overview. It takes 3 minutes to make a phone call. That's all you need to do. Now, but my start in Vbit, I started out just like everybody else does, themselves. You have an idea, you have a belief, and that is you believe in yourself to do something. You believe in the concept, you believe in the idea. That's all you need. You keep your beliefs, you understand what's going on, and you see the vision. That's all you need to do. I saw the vision once I finally wrapped my head around it by Lori Bocco, who finally got me started. She had told me about this probably about a year before it, and I didn't listen at first. And I heard her, I didn't say no, but with a party rental business, I was super busy and I didn't have the opportunity to really have an open mind and look. It's one of the most expensive things you will ever own in your lifetime is a closed mind, because you don't know what other chances are for you. And I know as Hugh is, we talked, we had a nice talk today, and, about how business is and how businesses are going, that the fact is this is a whole new concept, and we are able to make money in other directions that we never knew. And it was only because of COVID hitting both of us and hitting our businesses, and I'm sure Rangi as well, and other people with businesses as well, that we had to open our minds up. We had to look at other ways of making money, because we weren't going to lose. We knew that. We weren't going to sink, because we're going to swim. And we have the drive to go, the no quit attitude, that, nothing's going to put me down. I'm going to find a way, one way or another, we're going to find a way. And now we found this new way of being able to make money in all kinds of directions. And, Vbit, has been phenomenal for myself. I grew up, as I was growing up as a kid, I had 2 handicapped parents. One had polio, and I often talk about this, and I'm not going on a political stance here, but my mom was 4 weeks away, or she had polio, and 4 weeks later, the vaccine came out for her. So, that really puts a few things into perspective. And, and I know, our great friend, Fred Bocco, would wish that everybody had gotten vaccine. He actually said to Lori, make sure you tell our team, get vaccinated. I don't want people to go through this. Fred was a really good friend of mine. I knew Fred for quite a few years. I've known his youngest son since he was probably 5 years old. But anyway, yeah, he, so sorry, I lost train of thought there. But at the end of the day, him and Lori finally got me into the business and got me started. Lori was very persistent with me. She knew this was going to change my family's financial future, number one. She knew I worked hard at everything that I did. And she said to me, Skip, have this, and I know this is going to work for you. It's going to be able to give you back your time. You know, you're working 24/7. You and your wife are just absolute, you know, just absolute hard workers. That's all there is to it. You're hard workers and you need a break. She said, you need to look at this. So, you know, she followed me. She actually came to my house. We talked a few minutes and I said, all right, put me in, here you go. And she said, okay, where's the money? And Lori's a good friend of mine. She's not, you know, very good friend. I said, well, sure, it's in the bank. I don't have it right now in my pocket. And so she said, all right, we'll go to the ATM then. So she follows me to the ATM machine and I give her the money. And, you know, we joke about that all the time. And, but Lori's a very good friend of mine, but I'm very thankful that she followed up with me. Because if she didn't follow up with me and if she, you know, just left me go, I don't know where I'd be right now. I really don't. Because once she got me involved is in July, and then I started seeing stuff happening and she had received her first car. Then I needed to know more. And it was also going into my downtime. And that was just before COVID was starting to hit. And, you know, just started wrapping my head around it in December, January, and, you know, started, you know, getting involved and doing what I had to do. Because the one thing you can do is the more you learn, the more you earn. And that's what I kept on doing. I kept on going on Zoom calls. I was on Zoom calls all the time. I was in the trainings all the time. I was on the Tuesday night training that the company has. And I couldn't get enough. And I kept reading and I kept doing everything there was to get, you know, knowing what I'm talking about, what I'm looking at, and what am I understanding. And, you know, and then probably 2 months later, I called Hugh and, oh my God, I was super excited. I was talking everything. You know, I confused the hell out of him and, you know, talking giga hash and speed and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, hey, I was just excited. And that's one of the things you got to do. You got to be excited about what you're doing, because nobody wants to talk to somebody who's boring on the phone. They don't want to, you know, be boring at all. And so, but I threw him off, I guess, a little bit. He was intrigued, but, you know, he didn't feel like it was duplicatable. And, you know, it was a whole funny thing. I mean, I asked him, I said, look, you got to hit the reset button with me. You got to let me try again, because I know this is duplicatable. I know it is. And I got him on the phone with Don Vo. At first was Don Vo, and then Lori was in there and Jen was in there. And I think Lori talked to him, and, you know, oh my God, she talked all kinds of stuff to him. And, you know, another person's excited. So it's not just me, it's now Lori's excited. And, you know, something's got to be up with this. I felt that's what he felt like, that something's got to be up. There's no way that, you know, multiple people could be so excited about something. And, you know, finally, you know, I guess the COVID started hitting him as well. And because it hit me, I lost all of my business because I was considered non-essential. So, and then on top of that, the school shut down. So I lost, you know, income from that because I drove a school bus. So, you know, all these different things. The only thing that didn't shut down on me was snow removal. So that was good. At least I was able to make some side money that way on on another note. But, you know, I don't know how much time I got left here. I'm going to try and, you know, wrap up here, because I know I get excited, guys. Sorry. I don't want to start preaching to everybody, but
you're only at 9 minutes, Skip, so you're going well.
Okay. Was it, you know, if you think about what the ideas this is, it's very, very simple. This can change your life. This can change your family's financial future for generations, not just for today, not for tomorrow, not next year. This is for generations. My grandkids are going to be in good shape. I have one right now. They're going to be in good shape in the future. I know this. You know, put your head down, you know, go to work. Lori said to me the one time, she said to me, Skip, says, would you rather work at a job for 30 years and come out with barely enough money to be able to retire on? Or would you like to go and put your head down for 2 years, 3 years, and be able to have the rest of your life? And I was like, I like those numbers. I said, you know, I'm a hard worker as it is, and time doesn't matter to me on how much. I mean, if somebody says to me, I got a half a day's work today, and I was like, oh, great, that's only 12 hours, because there's only 24 hours in a day, and a half a day of work is 12 hours. So, you know, that's the way I look at things, you know, and this is all you got to do. It's a simple plan. The plan is put your head down, talk to people, keep motivated, keep talking, and go through the numbers. It's okay. Some people will say no, some people will say yes, but when the ones that say no, that's okay. Thank them, definitely thank them, and move on. Because when you thank them, they don't understand, because they think that they're trying to be sold to. You're not trying to sell anything to anybody. You're just trying to educate them and give them the option, the chance to change their lives. It's up to them to take it. It's not up to you to, you know, convince them to take it and just move on. And the next thing you know, they're like, hey, wait a minute, what are you talking about now? And they come back to you. So that's what Lori, you know, the way Lori put it to me, and, you know, in my work ethic and everything like that, you know, I just kept on top and kept on talking to people, following up with people. I think I had my first person block me. So, but that's all right. You know, it's funny because he actually signed up for the affiliate program and then did nothing, literally nothing, and then blocked me. I'm like, okay, well, you know, nothing I can do. I can't help you. You know, it's crazy. That was my first block, and he was in a group text block. So, because I was, you know, text 20 people at a time, you know, and I couldn't understand why this thing wasn't going through, and had to go in through individual ones to see what was going on. And I finally found him. So, but yeah, I mean, now what has Vbit done for me? Vbit's done a lot. You know, number one, it's built a great friendship between a lot of people. You know, I wouldn't have known Rangi. I wouldn't have known Leah, Pookie, any of you guys in New Zealand, Australia, or Asia Pacific. You know, I'm proud to be able to know you guys. Can't wait to get there. You know, I'm proud of Rangi for hitting his national leader position and getting his ordering his BMW. Excited for him. I can't wait. Hopefully, you know, I'll get to go there sometime soon. As you can see, the background here, this is what you know, Bitcoin and, well, Vbit does for me. I was sitting on this beach right here about 2 weeks ago.
At 13 minutes now, Skip, just letting you know.
No problem, thanks. So I was sitting on that beach there, but you know, what's it done for me? It's given me 24 hours a day, and now I can use them at my time. Meaning, what is my time? On my schedule. I was able to retire from the school buses. I don't drive them anymore. And I've cut back on my party rental business. You know, I do select things that I want to do now. I'm not going to be out there trying to kill myself anymore. You know, doing over 1,000 parties a year. Now, I've actually cut that back to, I don't know what I cut it back to, but, you know, only select few that I'm going to be doing. And as far as the snow removal, I still do that because I'm a man of my word, and my word is my bond. My handshake is my handshake. Without that, I'm nothing. And I told him, yes, I would take care of it this year for him because, you know, he's a very busy guy and he has a lot he takes care of. And as it is right now with trying to get employment for people or people to work, it's really tough. So I know him personally as well. So he's also a miner too, by the way. But he, you know, I said I'd do it. So, but next year's a different story. I don't know what I'm going to do next year. So, but, you know, at the end of the day, guys, my food for thought, this can and will change your life and your family's financial future if you only put your head down and do some time. You know, I don't like a 30-year life sentence like a job. I'd rather do 2 years. I'm sure everybody else would too. But, you know, guys, put your head down, go to work. You can do it. Trust in yourself,
Awesome.
believe in yourself, and you can do it just the same as all of us have here already. The door's open for you. Take it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so
I
much.
get excited. Sorry, Hugh.
It's okay, no
So-
problem. Awesome. Thank you so much for contributing all those inspirational words, and I'm sure people are moved by it. So thank you so much. The next person that I'm going to introduce is National Leader Ron Dove. Just a little bit about Ron Dove. He was born and raised in Philadelphia, the same city as Will Smith and Meek Mills. And he's worked with Human Services for the last 20 years, working with delinquent kids, mental challenged children, drug-dependent kids, and young adults for some of the biggest companies in Philadelphia. He switched to the financial service industries back in 2017, and now he's licensed to sell various financial products such as annuities and life insurance. He's got experience as a foreign trader through a long years of education that he told me about, and he's a partner in a crypto hedge fund. He's also a certified Bitcoin professional and certified Ethereum expert. And he's known Jen and Jason even before Vbit started. And he was among one of the first 100 people to sign up in Vbit in 2018. And I got a chance to hear his training, and I was blown away about what he said around mining and mining difficulty. But today we get to hear his journey and his truth and how it's inspired him. So Ron Dove, thank you so much for being on the call, and I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much.
All right, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Hugh. I just want to, say hi to everyone. As Hugh Benjamin said, my name is Ron Dove. I've been living in the city of Philadelphia my whole life. I have 3 beautiful boys. I have a son right now who he goes to Drexel University. So this is his first year, so I'm very proud. As Hugh said, I worked for some companies in Philadelphia. One of the biggest companies was called PHMC, Philadelphia Health Management Corporation. And I just basically helped with or work with delinquent kids and mental health kids and delinquent kids to kind of, get them on track to a better life. And I remember I used to work a lot of hours. So in that field, in the human services field, back then you could work, you could literally work as many hours as you wanted. So overtime was like the name of the game. And I remember one week I actually worked, in the 2-week period, I actually worked 110 hours of overtime. So that's 110 hours on top of 80 hours. So just think about that. So I was literally doing a double every day because I always worked 2 jobs. I was making about 6 figures working those 2 jobs, but then something just hit me like, something just has to give. I can't, I'm going from one job to my overnight job. And I remember every Sunday, and I know a lot of people can probably relate to this, I used to work 24 hours straight every Sunday. I would have to do a double at my first job with the kids at one facility, and then I would go to my overnight job. So that's 24 hours every Sunday. And then I just remembered, like, I'm young. At the time I was young, I just realized that I wouldn't be able to do this forever, and I didn't want to. So then I kind of switched to the human services field. So I got licensed first to sell life insurance and annuities. And I actually was working with Jen Gao and Jason Wong. I actually worked as an agent at one of the Allstate agencies that they actually own. And if you ever been to the home office, you would see that as soon as you walk in, it's like if you make a sharp left, it's like another nice office to the left that they use now for Vbit, but that used to be their, one of the Allstates that they own. So I was an agent there. And I knew nothing about, I was involved in a few other companies with Jen and Jason. I knew nothing about Bitcoin. My dad, who's on the call now, he knew about Bitcoin before me. And I knew nothing about Bitcoin around 2000, I want to say 17. That's when I found out about it. So when they started Vbit, I was among, as Hugh stated, one of the first maybe 100 people that signed up. And for about a year, I really didn't do much because I really didn't, know about Bitcoin. So I just kind of studied it. And then I just fell in love with it. I said, this is like one of the most amazing things ever. So I remember after about a year's time, right before, I guess, Ebony Chapman, who you just heard, before she kind of came, on our team, which is a blessing, and Brandy, me and my dad was sitting in the home office, and we were saying, like, listen, once we realized my dad, he was like, he heard Lori's story, and he just saw how much, I had told my dad about it. He had got in, and neither one of us had kind of did anything for maybe anything serious for about a year. But once we started to hear Lori Boca's story, and then just, the success that she was getting, and then my dad, I don't know, it was just like a fire that got underneath him. And, he was just like, listen, let's, it's time for us to get going, son. And he was really, to be honest, like the impetus for me to get going. And then, I said, okay, cool. So then we said, we're going to do a call every, Thursday. And, we got things in order. And then we were fortunate enough to get Ebony on the team and Brandy on the team. And, our team just, it just started growing. And I remember Ebony had mentioned earlier, I just wanted to piggyback off of that before I forget, because it's so important that when you do this business, you don't want to prejudge anyone, because as she said, we had a gentleman who, was just a postal worker. Well, I don't want to say just a postal worker, but if somebody was to prejudge him, they might have thought that, oh, well, he might be able to get a silver package or something like that. But this guy literally bought 8 Black Diamond packages, 2 years hosting, paid up front. And at the time, that was about maybe 800 grand. And he does not even own a car. So he actually, took the bus to the office, or either, I don't know, somebody drove him. So yes, that is a good point, Ebony. Thank you for bringing that up. You don't want to prejudge anybody. This man didn't even have a car, and he literally, bought 8 Black Diamonds, 7 or 8, I think it was 8 Black Diamonds, 2 years hosting, paid in full up front. So you don't want to prejudge, So with Vbit, how Vbit has actually changed my life is that I had let me see, I had a quote here. I think it was from, I don't know if it was from John Paul Getty. And I remember the first time I seen this quote, I think Jen Gao had did it in one of his presentations, but he was basically saying that I would rather have the effort, 1% of the effort of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. And I didn't really get that at first, but when it kind of sunk in, it just made sense, because now, just for me putting in, about 2 years, a little less than 2 years of serious work, I have, my definition of wealthy that I subscribe to is, I think it was from Robert Kiyosaki, and he says that the definition of wealth, his definition of wealth, is when the income that you earn from your assets is enough to pay all of your monthly expenses, whether you work or not. So whether I get out of bed or not, or, if Hugh Benjamin wants to, invite me down to California, and I'm going for a week, all of my monthly expenses are being paid. So that's very powerful, because I was able to accomplish that in less than 2 years. And remember, I was working 24 hours straight every Sunday, so that was, that was just, just amazing. So I've been able to qualify for the shopping spree, for, the vacations. I was able to, I just recently qualified for the BMW. So this company has really changed my life in a very, major way. So it's like, I think I don't know if it was Skip that just said it, or somebody previously, forgive me, but I heard that, you don't want to work 30 years. I was on the track of working for 30 years, and not achieving that definition of wealthy, of just, making enough income from your assets to to cover all your expenses. So, that's powerful to me. So it's enabled me to, anytime my son is having an event or my kids, I don't have to, call out. I don't have to put in any sick days. It's giving me enough time where now I can explore other, businesses and other opportunities. So I couldn't do that, before Vbit, because I was kind of, even though I thought I was making decent money, I was kind of trading my time for money. And then I remember another thing before I actually got going with Vbit, I'm a big fan of Bob Proctor. And I remember when I was working all those hours and driving in the car going back to work, he would say, I remember listening to some of the things when he was talking about paradigms and changing your paradigm. And he would say, think about this. Just imagine, turning your annual income into a monthly income, and that thought just stayed in my head, when at the time when I was, working 2 jobs. I said, man, that would be nice. Like, some people would just dismiss that, they would just dismiss that as, that's crazy. But that idea just stayed in my head. And I think I became emotionally attached to it. And now, I'm almost at the point where, for the salary that I was making back then, I'm almost making that a month now. I'm making more yearly while I sleep than I made an active income, before. So, Vbit, this is how Vbit has changed, my life. And I remember my dad and also Hugh were making comments like, as far as like, this is like one of the easiest, and also Ebony, this is one of the easiest businesses to get involved in, where you don't have to spend a lot of time. I know that Hugh Benjamin, when he first started, I think he said he worked maybe about 2 or 3 hours per week copying and pasting. And you know how busy Ebony is. And, I don't know how she does the things that she do, with, the companies that she has, 70 employees. And my dad, he made a good comment. He said, this is the business for people who have a lot on their plates. So there's no excuses here. I've been involved in other companies, and you have to, do a lot. This business, and I believe Hugh said something that really hit me, where he said that he grew a team, and I don't think he ever even had to leave his office, or he was just like kind of like on his computer, and you're just meeting people all over the world. And he always talks about, I learned so much from Hugh as far as duplication. And, he would always say that, well, you don't have to talk to people. You can just send them a video, because the video is going to say the same thing over and over. And to connect that with something that Brandy Hubbard, who's on the call, a really good friend of mine, love you, Brandy. She was able to retire her husband about a year from this. And she was saying that for the people who want to make it to national leader, all you got to do is promote. This is a business where you really, truly, in my opinion, you don't have to sell. You just have to promote a meeting, promote getting on a phone call with Ebony or Brandy or Hugh or myself. And, the videos and the presentation does all the work. So, this is a business that you can literally grow very fast. And just to kind of put it into perspective, sorry for 1 second, where I'm at, I think I'm at about 11 minutes. So just to kind of put it into perspective, me personally, like, even though I have people on my team who are underneath me, they're actually doing, as far as financially, you can, even though you're underneath somebody, they're actually doing better than me. We're all doing great. So it's not like if somebody brings you in that you can't actually do better than the person that brought you in. And just to make it to national leader, like literally, like I literally brought in 10 people, 10 direct people, that I brought in, initially, like, when I made it to the national leader spot. So it's not a whole lot of work. It's pretty doable. So I just want to leave everybody with that this business has changed my life. It's just a business. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say this. Brandy, she was saying that, and I like this statement. She was saying that, you just have to be like Don King and promote. She would say that, do you remember those Mike Tyson fights when, people would come and they might have to go and get their drink, and in 90 seconds they come back and the fight is over? Well, Don King was promoting that, and people were buying it. So with this right here, if you promote this, the people who get involved, they're going to get, a bigger reward than, missing, 90 seconds of a fight. So I just want to leave y'all with that. This has changed my life. And, I look forward to the next batch of regional leaders becoming national leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ron. I appreciate your time and looking forward to doing some trainings with you and your team too. And really, really appreciate all the insight you've given. I'm sure you've been an inspiration to a lot of people on the call. Thank you again. The next person that I'm going to have share, she is a national leader in the company. I've talked to her many times since I got started, when I was first coming up through the ranks, just like everyone that gets started in this company. Evelyn Stansberger. I actually interviewed a lot of the people that had black diamonds before I bought my first one and before I bought my second one. And Evelyn was on that call. And as I listened to their inspiration of them buying multiple black diamonds in the company, I was like, what's my excuse? And Evelyn is such an inspiration. Her background, she's a degreed accountant, a senior accountant for a medium-sized company in Scottsdale, Arizona. And she owns a couple of group homes. And she also had a full-time job. And you were the first national leader in Arizona. Is that true? And is that true?
That is right.
Yep. So I'm going to turn it over to Evelyn so you can hear her amazing and inspirational story. Evelyn, go ahead and take it away. Thank you so much for being on the call.
Thank you, Hugh. First of all, my name is Evelyn Stansberger, and I want to thank you, Hugh, for getting me into this opportunity to participate in the event of honoring national leaders. And I admire your big heart and kindness. You are so kind, and you're always a giver. You always include me. So when I ask questions, you are always there for me. You're a caring person, very approachable. And I also want to thank Lori Boko, the global leader and also the top earner of the company, Charlotte Pence, who is my direct sponsor. I would also like to thank my team below me, because I would not be without you. Without you, I would not be here. I'm grateful of this opportunity, and then thank you, Vbit. I'm the very first recognized national leader in Arizona. I received this position in August of 2019 when we had the first gala, August 2019. Prior to Vbit, I was a realtor. I acquired some homes, and some of those homes are the 2 assisted living that I have, and I have a full-time job. There are a lot of challenges along the way. I was into too many networking company, and one of them is the financial services company. That company requires licenses. You have to be fully licensed to do that. And I did that for 5 years. And I felt like this is not really giving me satisfaction. There was no, I was not feeling gratified. I didn't see that I was helping people. I didn't have any control of what's going to happen to the market. That's not a place I can control. I was kind of like, oh, this is not a place for me. So another downturn for me during those years was during the housing crash in 2010. I lost most of my home. during that time. And I'm never a quitter. My attitude was never to quit. I'm a believer. I believe that God is with me and he will never leave me nor forsake me. I'm also a believer that whatever I pray, when it is God's will, he will hear me. So that was my guiding light. So around June 2018, I received a call from Lori Boko, whom I met at one of the networking conferences in Los Angeles. When Vbit launched in Arizona in October 2018, and that's when I really got involved into it. Since being a brand new company, my team did not have any idea where Vbit is gonna go because we didn't have anything. We were starting from scratch. There was nothing from, so we believe God, we trust God, and we did it by faith. At this time, in April 2019, I purchased a gold package. And that package that I own, the first one is the gold package, and I saw my wallet grew. This compelled me to realize that this company is bound to be successful. Danvo has always been true to his promises and vision. At this time, I became excited. I wanted to know how I can share this huge opportunity with my friends and my family. So I learned from the best. Danvo was our teacher during the trainings. Eventually, Jen Gao and Gershom took over. I knew in my heart it was God who has orchestrated this journey for me. I know that God was with me. It was difficult because I did not have the technical know-how, and I'm not even into the social media. It was hard, it was difficult. During that time, there was no COVID yet. So I visited to see people, go to their homes, drove to their homes, and most of the people that I have joined in was about older than me, and so it was harder because of technical difficulties. But I got through it, and it was God in me. That's all. That's all I could tell you. I am so thankful of our CEO, Danvo, who gave me the encouragement. He said to me one day, he said, "You are asking good questions, Evelyn. Someday you can help me teach others." And that stood up. And I said, I was so encouraged because if I joined during this time when you guys are all into the technical stuff that you're into, I would be intimidated to ask questions. That was the best time for me. It was the right time, the right place, the right people I was involved with. I'm so thankful. At the first annual gala with hundreds of attendees, of members and guests, I was presented awards for my timeless service, hard work, commitment, and contribution to the company's success. Besides the National Leader Award, I also received 5th place as top recruiter and 3rd place as top producer. The testimonials I delivered to hundreds of people that evening was an experience of a lifetime. I believe I've touched so many people's hearts because of my sincerity. With your persistence, doubled with perseverance and hard work, and your willingness to learn, you can be successful with Vbit technology. Today, I am earning multiple 6-figure income a year as an affiliate and as a Bitcoin miner combined. Since I am now retired, I will dedicate my retirement years helping people to be prosperous in Vbit technologies. I want to thank you for listening to my testimony today. It's different from all the others' testimony because that was the very first exposure of Bitcoin in my life. I'm so thankful of this opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Evelyn, thank
That
you
was
so
good.
much. Yes, you're such an inspiration, and thank you again for taking out your valuable time and coming onto the call. And we
Thank
really,
you.
really appreciate it. Yep.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
So yes, thank you so much. And if you need any help, feel free to give me a call. So
Yes, sir. I will.
Have a
You
have
are
a great one.
so helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next national leader that we have on the lineup is Amy Smith. She's actually kind of recovering from being a little under the weather. She's a national leader. She's in South Carolina. She's an accountant by profession. She worked at the state of Maryland as a chief financial officer before taking on early retirement in 2015. She joined Vbit in 2018 during its inception. She's one of the first 100 affiliates and one of the first 8 regional leaders that traveled with Lori Bocco, Jen Gao, and Don Vo during Vbit's initial launch to Florida, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and California. And when Lori called her to join without hesitation, she said yes, because she read a lot about Bitcoin, that it's the future currency. And that's a little bit about her background. Amy Smith, thank you for being on the line. We'd love to hear your story, and I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, Hugh?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to thank you, Hugh, for spearheading this journey to national leaders. This is a great idea, Hugh. Thank you so much. My name is Amy Smith, a national leader from South Carolina. First, let me tell you briefly about my background. Hugh already mentioned a little bit, but let me say it again. I'm an accountant by profession and worked for the state of Maryland since 1987. I started as an accountant auditor, then was promoted to systems control manager, and then director of finance, and finally retired as chief financial officer in 2015. That same year, after retirement, we moved to South Carolina. How I learned about Bitcoin, I've been reading about Bitcoin since 2013. When I heard about the Winklevoss twins, you know, the Winklevoss brothers who became billionaires through Bitcoin. I tried to find out how to invest or buy Bitcoin, but can't find the reliable source to invest or buy from. So when Lori Bocco called me in May 2018, that she joined a company that's involved with Bitcoin, and I didn't hesitate. I just said, yes, sign me in. So that same day, I signed my husband, my 3 kids, my 2 sisters, my nephews and friends. And I asked Lori, where should I send the money? Because I knew then that, you know, these people that I will sign up will be making good money. Lori said, just send me, where should I send the check? I said, and how much? As I said, it's 1,000 each for a gold package. And Lori said, just send me your credit card. You know, I trusted Lori because I've known Lori since 1998. We've been doing, you know, different kinds of networking business here and there. And so I gave her my credit card and she charged it, you know, for the people that I signed up. Then I realized, you know, being retired, I had the fixed income. So charging that much is the worst time for me to incur additional debt. But then I knew then that it will make a lot of money, as well as the people that I signed up. So Lori added that since I was one of the first 100, we will have the chance to become the founders together with some of my family members. And I was so happy about it. In June 2018, Dan and Jin Gao stopped by our place in South Carolina, and we started launching Vbit here in South Carolina. So they invited me to join them to launch the Vbit in Florida, Maryland, and different counties in Florida. And also I joined them when we went to California. During our travel, I watched Dan and Jean like a hawk. I thought to myself, did I make the right choice? Did I make the right decision? Is this for real? But after just a few days of watching Jean and Dan, all my doubts were erased because I saw how humble, giving, caring, and how they were, very nice to us. And one time while we were eating, I asked Danbo about his plan for the company. He said he wants to build a $1 billion company, and he wants to be transparent, a transparent company. That statement made me more believe that I was with the right company at the right time. I was really impressed. Now my journey with Vbit, I became one of the 8 regional leaders in 2019, with Evelyn, Fred Bocco, Lori Bocco, Charlotte, and I think 2 more people. But I should have been a national leader in early 2020, but I made a mistake with my positioning of my leaders. I had 3 regionals on one side and 1 regional on the other side. So this is my advice to all the leaders. It is really very, very important to pay attention with your members' positioning, or plan carefully and always analyze your hierarchy. That was a big mistake that I made, and I'm saying, always review your positioning. Now, how did I reach the national leaders position? What I can say is just focus on your business, be consistent in sharing, and persistent in recruiting. Like what Ebony and Ron said, don't prejudge people, because you don't know, could be like you said, somebody could just buy 8 black diamonds. A lot of people will say no, but because they don't understand the business, all you have to do is just maybe explain further, about the business. And once they understand it, they'll join your business. Another thing is, don't divert to another business. That's what I did. I diverted to another business for 1 year, which delayed me in reaching my goal in Vbit. So those who want to succeed, focus is an important factor to succeed in Vbit. You will encounter a lot of negative people, and me, I encounter my husband as a negative person in Bitcoin. He met Jin Gao and Dan when they came here, and he said he'll join, although I already signed him up. But then after he checked with his tax accountant, he said, the tax accountant said, oh no, don't join. That's for money laundering, that's for the terrorist, and it could be a scam. So my husband has been negative since then. But last year, when I came back from Pennsylvania training with Lori, when I came home, he said, oh, how was your training? Oh, very good, I said. How much is a Bitcoin black diamond now? I said, it's over 100,000, 123, I think. And he said, buy me one. And I was shocked. I said, buy you one? You didn't buy when it was 50,000, and now you want to buy when it's 120,000. He said, just buy me one. I want to buy 1 black diamond. So I said, what's the change of mind? He said, well, I read that Bitcoin will become 500,000 in 10 years. So I want to get one now. I don't want to be late. So I said, after a month, I want to buy another black diamond. So anyway, he did bought a black diamond. So this is, some people who could be negative, they can change their mind anytime. So don't be discouraged. If you meet somebody, or a person that's negative, they can change their mind once they understand or read about Bitcoin. Now, how did Vbit change my life? Although I can comfortably live with my retirement income, Vbit has made my life more exciting and more financially secure. Stuff that, we were trying to, save money and, no, we cannot build that sunroom. No, we cannot build this or buy that. Now we can say, okay, go ahead. I tell my husband, if you want to build a sunroom, you can just buy it now. You can do it now. And he said, oh, really? You got a lot of money from Vbit? I said, yes. I got 4 black diamonds. I got 3 platinums. I got gold, and I got diamonds. So I said, I have enough for us to spend anything you want, hon. We can do it now. So he's so excited that he bought a black diamond because he said, hon, this is really good. Vbit is really good. So I'm encouraging a lot of people or members in the Vbit to just keep plugging in, keep doing what you're doing, because Vbit is the best opportunity that I've ever seen in my life that can change your life. It's one in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of people. With Vbit, I was able to help my nephew in his missions to other country, to Honduras, be able to donate money for him to help, poor people in Honduras. I was able to help, build a church in the Philippines. So Vbit has given me a lot of extra money to help other people. So I encourage everyone who hasn't joined Vbit to please join Vbit. This is a good company. We know the owners. It's a transparent company, although we have some issues, but nobody's perfect. But Vbit is the best company I've seen so far in my lifetime. Thank you so much, Hugh. Thank you, everybody,
Thank you.
for listening.
Thank you, Amy. I just want to
Good
thank
night.
you for coming on. I know you've been feeling under the weather, and we all wish you good energy, that you recover and get well very soon. Amy had her video off because, she's a little under the weather, but what an inspirational message. Thank you again for, being a leader and being committed and coming onto the call, even though you're not feeling that well. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hugh.
Awesome. So we have a special treat. We have another national leader on the line. I've spent many phone calls with Charlotte Pence. She is inspirational in the company. You guys may have seen her video. She was just awarded a BMW this past year. She's got a nursing background, but she didn't really pursue working as a nurse. She had a 2-year-old baby while working with Vbit. And now she's making incredible income as a national leader. In less than 2 years, she got her shopping spree, her BMW, and also the luxury vacation. And she was also one of the originating founding affiliates back in 2018. And we have Charlotte Pence on the line. We'd love to hear your testimonial, and thank you so much for being on the call with us.
Hello, everyone. Hello, you. Thank you so much.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. I think this is like my first Zoom meeting. Oh, is it? For the year. Oh, yeah. This is the first meeting of the year. I'm so happy to be here, you. Thank you so much. I know I declined your first invite because it's my Sabbath day. If it's meeting falls on Saturday, but after sunset, I'm okay. So thank you for having me here. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity that you're doing for everyone. And by the way, my name is Charlotte Pence. A little background about me, just like Hugh said, I'm actually, I have my nursing degree, but ever since I encountered business in the Philippines before I came here to the US around 2013, I already know that I want to do business rather than doing nursing job in the hospitals. So when I started actually around 2018 with Vbit, before that, I had an existing business that I was working with. I was doing really well on that business too. And Lori and Fred introduced this new business about Bitcoin mining, and I have no idea what Bitcoin was. I have no idea what cryptocurrency is. And they said that this is like a computer or it's like the way they describe it was it's like you're mining gold, but you're mining gold in the computer. So that's how I understand it in the beginning. That time I just have zero knowledge, and then Lori told me, Charlotte, just sign up, just learn later as you go. And then my husband heard about Bitcoin from work, but then it was a negative comments about the Bitcoin and how it's a scam and all that. And so when I started it, I was really doubting if I should join or not, but Lori said it's free. But so, Lori is such a great friend of mine before even Vbit existed. And I've always had trusted her. She's a great mentor. He turned my life 360 degrees. I used to be a shy person actually. And I get sweaty hands and shaky hands when I do like public speaking, but since it's Zoom, it's okay. I can hide everyone's face. But anyway, so Lori is a great friend, great mentor and all that. And so I trusted her. So I signed up, and then when Lori told me, do you want to be one of the founder of the company? And I asked how much to be to become one of the founder. And she said it's $1,000 to buy gold package. At the time it was $1,000 only. And I was not working at the time because I was already I already quit my 9 to 6 job. And then I was doing my other business, and it was only making, I was only making even just to pay my center at the time, and just enough commission to support me, but it was not really making much. So I asked my husband for money, and my husband said no. And I was like, okay, just give me $100 just to start for bronze at least. And he said no. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? He doesn't want to give me $100. And so I was looking for ways, but then I said, Lori, I'm sorry, I cannot be one of the founder of the company. But Fred and Lori is such a wonderful couple. They offered me, Charlotte, we'll give you $1,000. You can just pay us later, and to get you started in the company. And I said, but my husband doesn't want me to do it. And I said, just don't say anything, and he will thank you later. So fast forward a year and a half, actually my husband was want to buy 4 black diamonds, but I said, no, hold up. I said, maybe 4 black diamonds is too much. And I said, probably just 2. And so we got our first 2 black diamonds actually around 2020, like middle of 2020. So I got my gold package at the time, and then I asked Lori, how do I pay you? But Lori and Fred was really great people. They even told me, Charlotte, you don't need to pay. And then they're such a wonderful mentors and in the company, and they brought so many people that had their lives changed as well through Vbit technologies. At the time, way back 2018, none of my invites actually believed in Bitcoin, and some of them have heard about it. But during that first 6 months, when I was hiding from my husband, I was already inviting so many people, you know, in my sorry, I got interrupted. I was already inviting about 200 people at the time, and about 34 plus, I think 34 around that population came. And the presenter at the time was our CEO, Danvo, and Vice Chairman Jin. Personally, actually, it was a success, and most everyone actually got their package. So it was 100% sold out presentation. And, you know, since that time, I did not have like 100% fully trust of the company yet, but I got a chance. Our CEO Danvo offered me to go with them in Singapore and Hong Kong to launch the Vbit technologies, to look for investors at the time. And that's when I started getting to know Dan and our vice chairman and all the other founders of the company. And I started to see Dan working all night, all day, and he would always fulfill his promise to people. And I'm telling you, he's a man of his word. And then fast forward in 2020, when I got back, I told my team, Dan is really serious with this company. And he even said, even if someone will offer him millions of dollars to buy his company, he's never gonna sell it to anyone, because he wants to help a lot of people. And that's his vision, is to pay back to those people that have helped him as well. So fast forward in 2019, I also got pregnant, but while I was pregnant, I was actually doing weekly meetings with my team in Arizona. That was our momentum. So I really wanted to create that momentum with my leaders, having to set up meetings every week, and we built relationship through that meetings, and we educate each other. We learn how to transfer cryptos together from our Coinbase account to our bank accounts. We help each other, and we had each other's back whenever some members are negative, but we've always kept that relationship and have worked together and find solutions together. And that's what happened. And actually, I built my team by making a very good foundation first. I made sure that I have a great foundation in my one leg at the time. So I put all my superstar in one leg and not balancing my leg, but I didn't care. Just like what Evelyn said, he was the first national leader in Arizona. But, you know, I was so happy because I feel like an effective leader knowing that my downline got promoted, even though I was not the first one to get to national leader. I'm so happy to see my downlines getting promoted, every one of them. And I don't care, because I know I'll get there someday. By helping my leaders, I'm also helping myself, and it works. And, you know, you just have to work with your leaders. And then, while I was pregnant, while my belly is growing, the Bitcoin actually is growing too, and my income is growing as well. So I was like, this baby is lucky. This is my champion. And then I just can't believe it. It just happened so quick. And 2 years later, I was making a 6-figure income with Vbit, and it was also making my friends and my family happy. At the time, everyone was willing to get into the company. And when Vbit actually changed their compensation plan, like around 3 times, And I didn't know that I was gonna make a BMW. In like 16 months, I was able, from the time was that the compensation plan was made, 16 months later, I made $3 million sales, and I didn't expect a BMW. It was like a big surprise to me that I made that sales. And so I was thinking, this is really a great opportunity to share Vbit technologies to everyone around me. And once when I made my bonuses, my shopping spree, my BMW, more and more people actually was interested to hear about this amazing opportunity. And so actually last year I made like $6 million sales, just 2021 alone. And I'm happy that a lot of people out there are actually, our members are actually thanking me for being able to explain to them what Bitcoin mining is and introduce Vbit to them. And I thank God for Fred and Lori. I owe a lot to them because of them. I'm never going to be in Vbit. They believed in me. They always encouraged me. When I ask questions, they're always there for me. And, you know, I just can't, they're amazing couple. They're great mentors, and they always support their team. And thanks to Vbit also for this opportunity that changed so many lives in a tremendous way. And guys, just build your team, work with your team, and trust in the company. And I know we have some hiccups along the way. Just look at the positive things that are happening around us, and don't prejudge, just like what Ebony and Ron and Ate Amy had said. Do not prejudge people, even though you think that they cannot afford. I heard this many times. Some people will say, oh, those people cannot afford to buy. I'm telling you, I was not able to afford. I did not even have $100, but there are people out there that believed in you, and just work with them and they will be able to help you out. And always rely on the people that are actually already in Vbit technologies. Call to them. Don't hesitate, because they will teach you they will encourage you to do this business, and they're always going to be there for you to answer your phone calls. I already acquired my cash from Infinity Builders bonus as well, got my shopping spree, and soon I think we will, if this COVID will be gone soon, I hope, hopefully we'll have our luxury vacation as well. And so don't miss this opportunity. I believe in yourself, and be comfortable that Vbit will help you get through, especially to become financial freedom in this company. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for jumping on the line. Thank you. Yeah, if you need anything, feel free to reach out. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations on your success. Awesome.
Thanks.
So the last person that we're going to have, the national leader, this gentleman I've known for almost 20 years. I did not work with him. He was not in my business, but he was a leader that I was acquainted with in another company that I worked with. And we ran a lot of meetings together in New Zealand and Australia. He's been instrumental in a lot of people's success around the world. He's a business owner and entrepreneur for the last 35 years of his life. He joined Vbit in August 2020. And in 16 short months, he's gone from a very humble beginning to achieve, the position in our company. He's the first person outside of the United States to achieve the leadership rank of national leader. He's on a high six-figure income today because of Vbit, and he just recently qualified for a brand new BMW. This was in October, and I was thinking about this too. I said, wow. People complain about waiting 3 or 4 weeks for a mining machine. He had to order his BMW in October to get it in June. And he's got such an amazing attitude about that too. But he was the first one to achieve that outside the United States. He's got an amazing team that's building with many of the leaders. And I'm so grateful to work with him side by side in this company. I'm going to turn it over to national leader, Mr. Rangi Savage. Thank you.
Hey, Hugh, thank you. I was wondering who you were talking about, then I realized it was me. Hey, thank you, and thank you everybody for being on the call today. Man, we have had some just amazing speakers, very powerful speakers all around the world, and that's really what this business is all about. But I'm going to share my story and my life with you in my journey to national leader. I got an email, and in that email was a video that I decided not to watch, and I knew it was from you. But I was already busy. I was busy trying to save my traditional business from falling over because of COVID. The COVID lockdowns here in New Zealand, and it had impacted my traditional business in a major way. So I had my hands full. So one thing about Hugh is that he follows up. And next minute I'm getting a phone call a couple of days later, and we're talking, and Hugh says, "Did you get that email?" "Yep, I got the email." "Have you watched the video?" "No." "And I'm probably not going to watch it. Come back and see me in about a year when I'm got everything sorted and I've got time to look at it." And all he said to me was, "Rangi, we go back a long way, at least 20 years. Please give me the benefit of a doubt and do yourself a favor for the next 6 minutes and watch that video. And then you can decide what you want to do from there." And I'm so grateful. I will be forever grateful to Mr. Hugh Benjamin for doing that, because I almost never got involved. Can you just imagine that? I almost never got involved because I didn't take 6 minutes out of my time to watch a video. And absolutely the rest is history. You know, we can fast forward 16 months. I registered with the company in August the 18th, 2020. My first machine, which was a little old silver, came on the 23rd of August. So 18, 19, 20, 22, 5 days. And back then it was super fast. And that's when Bitcoin was at $9,000 a coin. Okay, now we can fast forward from that date to 16 months today. You know, we're 16 months down the track. And that little silver machine I started with is now mining the equivalent of a Black Diamond Plus. It's at 940,000 gigahash today, all through referral hash power. I asked Hugh 2 questions because my little machine started mining $9 with a Bitcoin every day. I got pretty excited about that, but I rang Hugh up and I said, "Hugh, how can I turn this $9 into $90 a day?" And he told me. And I said, "How can I turn it into $900 a day?" And he told me, and I said, "Yeah, but I don't want to spend any more of my money because I've got none." You know, my back was up against the wall, and I didn't have the spare cash to start waving it around and buying black diamonds and such. And he says, "Well, what you want to do is become an affiliate, and you can earn referral hash power." And when he told me that, and I understood that, the light bulb absolutely went on for me. It went on in a major way. And now that little machine, that same little machine now is mining the equivalent of a black diamond. And I only ever paid for 2 years hosting on a little old silver machine. That is mind-blowing when you can go out. So what I'm saying to anybody that's listening on this call today, it doesn't matter whether you've got the money to buy a black diamond or not. You can start small as long as the dream is big. So where does your journey to national leader start? It starts with the dream. That's where it starts, and I'm going to share my story about that very shortly. But I've been able to turn something really, really small into something really substantial that has absolutely changed my life. The effect and the impact it's had on my life is huge. You know, I'm retired. I don't work as such what normal work is. I haven't done that since the 1st of January of last year. I do Vbit full-time, 100%. I have never left home. I've built this business into 28 countries now. It's absolutely huge. I completely override all of the business out of the Asia Pacific region. That includes New Zealand, Australia, the Southeast Asia, the Pacific Islands. And it's all through sharing it with one person who shared it with another person who shared it with another person. That is the key to this. And I think we all have a moral obligation to share the story because we are changing people's lives, and everyone that we touch that gets the picture. And like I said, you can start small, but the dream must be big. Now, my journey of discovery of where I wanted to be in life started way back when I was 15 years old. I don't come from the affluent side of the railway tracks. I come from the opposite side. I come from the poor side, where we weren't privileged enough to have anything extra in our lives. All right, but we were, you know, we had a roof over our heads. Our my mum and dad worked really hard to feed us and to put a roof over our heads. And for that, I would be forever grateful. But being brought up in that environment and that part of my life at that stage, it taught me how to become a winner. It really taught me how to become a fighter as well. So at the age of 15, I was in class and we were doing a career study day, and the topic came up, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this had a real major effect on me, what happened here. Because all the other guys and the girls get up and want to be a nurse and want to be the prime minister, and I want to be a policeman and a fireman. When I got up and I said I wanted to become a millionaire, and everybody laughed at me. I was 15 years old. Even the teacher laughed at me. And I never forgot it. And from that day, I've had a burning desire to tell everybody or show everybody what anyone can do. And that's why I have a no quit attitude today. Absolutely no quit attitude today. Now, I'd love to be able to go back and share my story today with that classroom and those teachers. But, you know, that's in the past. But what that taught me to do, that taught me to fight. It really did teach me to fight and taught me to become mentally and emotionally strong. And that's called mindset. So I've studied personal development and mindset, and I train it and teach it as well today for 25 years. And that has given me the internal strength to get through some of the challenges that we all face in life and that we all face in business as well. But I've never seen a business like this ever. I've been in business. I've been in traditional business. I've done very well in traditional business. I've made $1 million twice and I've lost it twice. Very, very humbling experience. I'm going to tell you. All right. But the thing is, when you go through those challenges and you experience those challenges, none of those are failures. What they are is an educational journey to the discovery of where you want to end up in your life. That's what they are. And you can never learn if everything is perfect in your life. You'll never be able to learn. So I got involved with Hugh Benjamin. And as I said, I'd be forever grateful for Hugh to share this opportunity with me. Now, as I said, I started in August 2020. I got to December 2020, and I was in Erie. I woke up one morning, and everybody's giving me congratulations, and it was all over the telegram. I was being congratulated for becoming an area leader, and I have to tell you truthfully, I didn't even know how I did that. I had no idea how it happened, none. And at that stage, there was not a lot of training in training and development and leadership. And so when I figured out what area leader was, okay, I started to put together a very duplicatable system, easy system. We call it the 10 steps to success. And we train that every second Sunday here in New Zealand now. So I did that, but you know, at that stage, my traditional business was pretty much, it was all over. COVID had put pay to that. So on the 1st of January of 2021, I took a couple of weeks out. I went back to where I come from, and I went up there. We have a mountain back there, Mount Taranaki or Mount Egmont, and I went back up there, cleared my head, and I made 2 goals while I was there. The first goal was to be BMW qualified by the end of last year. And the second goal was to become national leader qualified before the end of last year. So, and that was on the 1st of January last year. I hopped in my car and I went to work, and all I did was go to work. I was laser focused. My application on everything was 100%, and I put this together out of nothing. I put it together, and I qualified. Actually, the BMW qualification was at 3 million, and I was about a week away from qualifying when they changed the whole structure and the qualification. And the qualification went from 3 million to 5 million. And I went, oh man, now that's enough for anybody with the wrong mindset. That's enough for everybody to spit the dummy, throw their toys out of the cot and go and walk away. For me, I actually got angry. I got really angry. All right, I've got to go to work. I did the remaining 2 million qualification in 2 months. In 2 months, and I couldn't believe it. And I had to, and the BMWs, that model BMW is not here in New Zealand, so I had to go down to BMW, order it. It's being built in Germany right now. It's not going to be here till June, July of this year, so I have to wait 6 months to get it. But I was able to go down there, sit down with the BMW guys, and build my car from the ground up to my specs. And the color, the brake calipers, the wheels, everything, the accessories. So it's an M Series 440i convertible, because that's the only model that we can get here. We don't have the other ones, and so I'm really grateful for that. Really grateful to Vbit for having that program. But along with all of that comes all the other trinkets, the holiday, the shopping spree, the gold watch, everything else. And you know, I just want to say that's great, and that's good, but really, where is the journey? Where does the journey end up for me? But also, where does the journey end up for you? What's the purpose? What is the reason why? And I always say this: there's a couple of things that you really need to take stock of to become a national leader. And you really got to understand very clearly and very precisely where you want to go. And that's why I said the journey to national starts with the dream. Okay, and then you have to apply yourself, and you have to be mentally. You have to be very strong, because there's so many things, okay, that are going to challenge you on this journey of discovery. And I know, because we all go through it. I've been through it. Hugh's been through it. Hugh and I talk all the time when we're met with challenges. We meet challenges every day. Look, you got to understand that that's the nature of our business, because we are in the people business. We're in the people business. We're not in the sales business. We're not in the Bitcoin business. We're in the people business. And communication is absolutely number one. It's the number one key, okay, that's going to get you across the line, and being able to learn to communicate with all sorts of people. Now, there's going to be people out there that want to help you. There's going to be people out there that want to sabotage your success. So what? At the end of the day, it's what you want. It's what you want to achieve, not only for yourself, for your families, but also for your team. I understand the reason, and I certainly do understand the purpose of what I want to achieve out of this. Now, I've been in some amazing companies and I've done some amazing things, but nothing like this. I've never ever experienced and seen a company like this. Today, you know, last year I finished on a very high 6-figure income. And I got a BMW and all the other bits and pieces to boot, and I was very grateful for all of that. But at the end of the day, just like any of you, you're going to be grateful for that as well. But you're the one that's doing the hard work. You'll never be able to achieve the heights of where you want to be without rolling your sleeves up, having that dream and that vision, and going to work. That's it in a nutshell. That's the basics of what success is all about. So I've been able to achieve all that, but my end goal and my number one reason for wanting to achieve what I achieve is to affect the world in such a positive way, and turning poverty, okay, into prosperity with people that are facing so much hardship today. If you look around the world here in New Zealand, Australia, and all around the world, the COVID pandemic has really put a lot of people in a tough spot. And there's no need to be like that. The world we create an unjust and unfair world with some of the things that we have created, or humans have created, and we believe in. And at the end of the day, the whole thing is all about people. I love what I do. As I have an absolute passion. I know where I want to be at the end of this year. I've set my targets again at the end of this year, and it's serious. It's an absolutely serious. There's only 2 goals left, and I know which one I want to go for. And I'm certainly working towards that particular goal by the end of this year. What am I going to do in the future? All I want to do is just share that success and share the story and share the journey with as many people that want to listen to what we're sharing and that want to listen to what we're saying and that have a vision to be able to put something like this together and make it happen. We all have that same chance. Everyone on the call tonight, everyone out there that still that doesn't know that we exist, has the same chance that I had last year, has the same chance that all of these national leaders had when they first started. I remember the first day I started and my machine started and it put $9 worth of Bitcoin into my account. I got so excited. 7 days later, okay, it happened every day. I was doing the happy dance in the middle of the street. Purely and simply because I figured out this machine's doing this while I'm sleeping. I've never had that ever. I've always wanted to create and generate an opportunity or be in an opportunity that gives us true residual income. Okay, and then all of a sudden, I find out from Hugh that we can become an affiliate and have 5 other income streams. You know, I live the life that most people, most of the national leaders on here do as well. We live the life that most people dream about. One thing I like about being a national leader is I get to wake up in the morning when my eyes open. I don't have to wake up to an alarm clock. Okay, I get to choose what I do for the day. I get to choose if I'm going to go to work all day or if I'm going to go to fishing. Okay, if I'm going to go and have coffee with my friends. I can remember a few years ago when I was working hard in my traditional business, I never had those choices. Is this real? Yes, it's real. Is it worth the journey and is it worth the sacrifice? For me, okay, and for the reasons and the vision that I have moving forward and what I want to achieve and for my purpose and my reason why, yes, it's worth it. For many of you, you have to make that decision. Okay, now this business will change your life. It will impact your life in such a major way if you want it to do so. Or you can choose just to work it part-time. It's completely up to you. It's completely up to you whether you want to become an affiliate and build an affiliate business as well, or just become a customer and let those machines mine a residual income for you. But I'm so happy, and I know where I'm going. I know where my family is going to end up. I know with everybody in my organization and in my team and everybody that I have yet to speak to, okay, that every time we touch the person that sees this, we change a life. We change an outcome. We change a financial future, not only for that individual, but for the people that surround that individual. I think this is a pretty special, a very, very, very special company. We've all had our ups and downs with infrastructure, but that's business and it's what we call growth pains. And as I said before, if your mindset's correct, if your personal development is correct and you have the no quit attitude, you learn to overcome some of the changes that we have to go through with the company growing. And that's a rite of passage. Okay, that's just part of the journey. Learn that, and if you're going to understand that, And for many of you that are at area leader or regional leader right now, set your goals for 2022. Set the goals that you want to achieve in your leadership ranking, and also set the goals that you want to achieve in the returns that you want to receive in the Infinity Team lifestyle bonuses as well. The BMW car is certainly a good goal to go for. I can remember when I first set the goal, it was miles away. It was almost unbelievable, but I'm the sort of person, once I set the goal, I start to focus on that, and I start to believe in everything, in every essence of about having to go out and achieve what I need to achieve, and it happens. It will happen. It's not a dream. There's no secret potion. There's no magic to this. It just means when you set the goal, have creative visualization for the future. You roll your sleeves up and you go and do some work. Okay, it is just a matter of time. All of these national leaders on the call today have proven that. They come from all walks of life, okay, just like me. And we all have the dreams. So I just want to say for everybody that's on the call that's yet to acquire the leadership ranking of national, all the best, because you've got to set your goals and you have the chance to go and do it this year. Any one of you, it doesn't matter where you're starting from right now. You could be brand new in the business. You put your mind to this, you can get it done this year. It's absolutely amazing. So
Just a time check there, Rangi.
thank you, Leah. You're right on. Now, I just want to thank a few people. First of all, I'd like to thank our timekeeper and our moderator today, Leah Gunda. She's an area leader in my organization, my business, through George Nixon. She forgot to introduce herself, but she's a very special person. She has so much happening in her life. She's a single mum of 3 beautiful girls, and she runs a traditional business as well. And she puts all her extra time and effort into her Vbit business here, and to the team that we're developing through Asia Pacific. So I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of all the audience and all the national leaders to thank you. Thank you so much, Leah, today for being our timekeeper and our moderator. The other person I want to thank so much is my buddy and my partner in crime, national leader, Mr. Hugh Benjamin. Hugh and I, we have a lot of fun together. We have robust discussions, and most people call those arguments, but you know, that's what business is. But together, you know, we're building an organization this year that we want to absolutely explode right throughout the world. I know where I want to be at the end of the year. Hugh knows where he wants to be at the end of the year. So together we've been able to put something like this on right at the beginning of the year. So everybody that's listening to all these wonderful speakers has some inspiration to move forward in 2022. I'd like to take this opportunity also to thank all the national speakers that took your time out today to come onto this platform, specifically for my organization down here in Asia Pacific, the Bitcoin Millionaires Club, because this is our Super Sunday training. And you've been able to, through the work of Hugh and myself, organizing to come onto our Super Sunday training and to help my team be inspired and be motivated. I'd really like to take this opportunity to thank you all. And just want to hand it back to Hugh if you've got anything else to say before we close off, Hugh.
No, I just wanted to, I just wanted to say my thoughts are with Lori Bocco, and obviously it's unfortunate. You know, I was just having lunch with Fred Bocco literally a couple months ago. We met in Pennsylvania. I flew back to see my mom, who just got out of the hospital, and just me and Fred had lunch. We would talk on the phone. It seems like kind of shocking, you know, that things like that can happen to really incredible people. And I know that, you know, everything that we're going through, you know, there's always a positive side to that too. You know, the fact that we can be grateful for the time that we have, and we can make an inspiration on other people. I want to thank everybody on the team too. You know, Rangi, I know there's George Nixon and Annie Rogers and Hookie Clark, and, you know, all the great leaders that are on the call today, and especially all the national leaders taking their time out. I hope that we can plan. I think we're going to plan another event in a couple weeks, and we'd like to include all the national leaders and all the regional leaders on the call for training, so we can get 2022 into a new stratospheric realm for everybody. I know there's a lot of exciting opportunity out there. This company has literally changed my life. And, I've just put on the blinders, honestly, and that's really what myself and Rangi and a lot of the leaders have done. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and you can only pick and choose where you want to put your attention, and where your focus goes, your energy flows. And that's what's been so magnificent. I see we have Guy on here too, and some of the other regional leaders as well, Brandy. But just want to thank everybody for their time, and hopefully this was beneficial for everybody that's plugged in, that you got some really amazing gold nuggets from this and inspiration. We all have an equal opportunity. It's just where you put your attention and your focus and how committed you are. So with that, I just want to thank everybody, and thanks, Rangi, for all the great systems that you put together with your team and our team, and just so grateful to have everybody that we're all working with on my team and also off my team too. All the fellow leaders in the company. You guys are friends, and if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. We're here to support you. If you need, any help with training or leadership or whatever, we can all work together and achieve a lot more. So thank you, everybody, and I'll hand it back to, I guess that's it. So thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Hugh. And thank you, everybody, for your day. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll do this again very shortly. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Good luck,
you.
Hugh.
Inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome. Thank you, guys. Later.
Awesome journeys.
Bye-bye. Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.